Shukdev Goswami. Why was this dialogue quoted by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit? Parikshit Maharaj asked about the origin, how creation takes place, right? And so, in answer to that, Shukdev Goswami is giving this story of when Narad also asked the same question to Lord Brahma. Right? So Lord Brahma is answering these questions of Narad in last time's discussion, which was I think a couple of weeks back. Last week it was not there. No, we didn't have class last week. And before that we had this Gaur Katha. So 2 weeks back. We discussed how Narad Muni asks 6 questions. He asks 6 questions to Brahma. The first question is Yad Rupam. What are the symptoms of the universe? What is comprised in this universe? What is it made up of? What are the symptoms of the universe? Second, Yad Adhishthanam. Who is its shelter? Where is it resting? Who's pulling the strings behind it? Yadhishthanam. Then, Yata Shrishtam. How is it created? How did it start? Our science tells us how is it started? Big Bang. Radhesham Prabhu jokingly says. But we have never seen any creative thing coming from a bang. But we are made to believe by the most intelligent people in the world that this wonderful universe came from a bang. Some of you can come in front. This line is there. Nobody will injure you. Please, Jyoti Mataji, you take the lead. Everyone will follow you. Yadya Dacharati Shreshtas. Please come. No problem. You be there. Others can come. आगे आइए. I know only 2 languages. That didn't work. It didn't work. So Radhesham Prabhu then says that if that were the case, there would be all these small bang construction companies who would just keep dynamite and blow it and expect a building to come up. But that doesn't happen. It's the opposite. Destruction happens like that. And we are meant to believe that creation happened by an explosion. So obviously, Narad is more intelligent than our big scientists, and Parikshit Maharaj is more intelligent. So therefore, he's asking, how was it created? It's definitely not a bang. So how did it all start? Then he asked, Yad Samstham. That is, how is it conserved? That means at the time of destruction, where does it all go? Because again, there's creation. So what happens in the interim? Where is it conserved? Where is it kept? I'm sure this question, very few of us were logically scratching our heads trying to figure out that how is it conserved. Creation, maybe many of us would have looked up the sky, looked at all these stars, and especially when we learned in science, solar system, some of us may have questioned कि ये कैसे हुआ? But how is it conserved? Then, Yat Param, what does it depend on? And Yat Cha, what is it made of? So these are the 6 questions that Narad Muni asked, and Brahma, before answering them, he stated that Narad in fact asked him, what's your role in this? And Brahma made a point. Does anyone remember what did Brahma say about his role in creation? That I am the secondary creator. It's like, someone made this building. So someone can claim, we made this building. But you made it from things which you didn't make. Yes? What are the things that go into making a building? Cement, water, bricks, iron, very important. वो story है ना, the 3 pigs make homes. One makes it with straw, one makes it with wood, the other makes it with cement and bricks. So cement, bricks, iron, all these things. Can anyone make these things? No one can make earth. Cement comes from where? Where does brick come from? Earth. No one can make earth. No one can make metals. Metals are found. No one can make it. You can melt them, remold them, add some things to them. You can't make them. Water, no one can make. So A wise person would say, I made this from things which I didn't make. And then the question can be asked, who made it? Okay, I got it from this company. I got cement from what? Ambuja Cement. Ambuja Cement. For some weird reason, some cement advertisements have, half dressed people in them for some reason. What relation does that have with cement? We don't know. Maybe people think that if we make our house with that cement, we will also have such people in our lives. I don't know, but where does that cement come from? The company. Okay, where does that come from? Where does it get it? You will ultimately come to the source as the earth, and then you go backwards. Where is the earth coming from? And then now you're getting into the questions which Narad is asking. So Brahma states that मैं secondary creator हूँ. मैंने created चीजों में से creation किया है. So then what is the logical question? Who's the primary creator? Who's the cause of all causes? Name of this chapter. Cause of all causes. So who is the primary creator? So now Brahma answers the first question, which is Yad Rupam. What are the symptoms of the universe? What is this universe made of? And this is answered in the 14th verse, where Brahma lists down several things. The first thing he says that the universe is made of dravya. Dravya means earth, water, fire, air, ether. The five main elements. In Sanskrit, these five main elements can also be called as dravya. So he's saying the first component of the universe are these things. Like how we discussed, all the things that went into making this building can ultimately be brought down to these elements. So dravya. Second, he said Kal. What is Kal? Time. Right? So time factor is involved. Like you see nowadays many of these buildings which are getting redeveloped. These builders put a electronic countdown in front of the big gate, which is like 900 days and 300 days or whatever, and then it goes the seconds. It is days, then weeks, then whatever days, and then hours and minutes and seconds, and it goes down, countdown. So time, we tend to take time for granted. They said also time is money, because time is cannot be recovered. Prabhupada says, no, in many lectures, if you hear Prabhupada's lectures, many lectures Prabhupada will quote the date and time when he's giving the lecture, and he'll say, this time, once gone, can never come back. People can give millions and millions of dollars also, this time will not come back. Today is 6th April. So 6th April, 7:17 p.m. will never come back in 20 seconds. Whatever you do, it's not going to come back. So time evolves. It creates, it destroys. Things are created, things are destroyed. How does all that evolvement and change take place? By time. So the second component of the universe, Brahma says, is time. We are going to discuss these two questions today. The first two questions. And then the other four questions all are related to the, how from the different modes, different elements come. And that we will do next week. Next week is Ram Katha by Devkinandan Prabhu, so there won't be any class here. And next week. And that class will be in the form of a test, where I'm just going to give out questions over here, and we'll arrange some way where you will see the questions on your phone, and then you have to have MCQ and you have to you have to choose the right answer. So you need to, and that will involve not just reading the verses and coming or reading the verse. That will actually involve you sitting in one place, maybe for some people for the first time, with a book, writing pad in your hand, and actually making notes of and making charts and making all those things about this creation thing. So we'll keep that day prasad count only 15-20, because most people will not come. But we'll actually do it, and we hope all of you will come, even if you don't. The answers, how much score you get, is kept with you only. Even I will not see, and we'll not show it. But we'll do that. So it'll be fun, because it's nice. It's nice. Sometimes when you use your brain, you exercise your brain, and after that you understand something, it's actually a gratifying feeling. पता नहीं हमें बहुत टाइम से किया नहीं है, जब से ये स्मार्टफोन आ गया तो बिल्कुल 5+4 के लिए भी हम कैलकुलेटर खोलते हैं, डेट भी याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं, हम सीधा कैलेंडर में देखते हैं आज 6 अप्रैल है। फोन नंबर तो छोड़ दो, कभी सेकंड नंबर किसी ने ले लिया तो बाप रे, खुद का सेकंड नंबर याद नहीं रहता है, पीछे लोग स्टिकर लगाते हैं पोस्टेड में, नंबर क्या आपका। But try it out. Those of you who will try it out, it will be good. It won't look good, that there's a test going on and you're just sitting like this. Once I was forced to enroll for CET, and I was already working with Citibank. It was all good, and plus I came into Krishna consciousness. There was no chance of CET, and I had dreams of GMAT. So I thought, yes, CET, yeah. But now I was enrolled forcibly. So I remember CET exams usually happen on Sundays. At least that time it used to happen. So I came here for Mangal Arati, everything here. We had our youth class at 10 o'clock. I took prasad at 1 o'clock, and then I went. I think somewhere in Matunga, the center. And I had not opened a book. I had not even bought the book. गया मैं वहां पे दिया वो, it's all MCQ ना, CET. And everyone is like, दिमाग लगा रहे हैं, कुछ कुछ कर रहे हैं, and all कर रहे हैं. And I just saw, I don't know how many questions CET has. 100 something, some 100, 150 questions are there. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. I just did ABCD, 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 ABCD. In 10 minutes, I closed the paper, gave it to him, and walked out. And came back to the temple because we had some evening service. So it won't look, I didn't even bother to check how much I got. CET का मैंने कभी result भी नहीं check. It won't look good if you do that. My point of the story is that. So next to next week, you come. You please take prasad also. But if you just put 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you choose some really stupid answer, because there'll be one stupid answer also in that, which I will put. So it'll not, you will feel embarrassed. तो पढ़ के आओ, अच्छा रहेगा. 2 हफ्ते का notice दे रहा हूँ मैं. So nothing like that today. You can relax. So Brahma says the second aspect of creation is Kal is time. Third factor he says is Swabhav, the modes, nature, modes of nature, Swabhav. So everything depends on the modes of nature. Someone in mode of goodness will do something in some way. Someone in passion will do something in some way. The time of mode of goodness will lead to something. The time of mode of passion or ignorance will lead to something. So it's all modes in play. Then Brahma says the next aspect is Jiva, living entity. And the last aspect of the creation is karma. Who comes at what time, how certain things happen, how certain influences take place. It is karmic, it is karma. And then Brahma says, the person who is behind all of these things is Vasudeva, Krishna. So, symptoms of the universe are these, and the person behind these is Krishna. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna tell him about himself in terms of time? Kalosmi. Kalosmi. I am time. Regarding karma, Krishna says the laws of karma are very intricate for one to follow because Krishna is behind. Haribol. No talking. Thank you. And Krishna is behind all of these. So this answers the first question. What are the symptoms of the universe? How does it, what are the elements? These 6. And who's behind them? Vasudeva, Krishna. Any questions on this? Very clear. Narad's next question was, Yad Adhishthanam. Who is its shelter? Who is its shelter? This is a very nice verse. It's a very easy verse to learn also, where Brahma basically describes several things and says that the reason or the purpose of all of these is Krishna. The purpose of all of these is Krishna, and therefore the shelter of the universe is Krishna, Narayan. Here he uses Narayan. So he says one is Veda, the scriptures. Yeah, if they're making too much noise, then maybe one of you can just take the kids outside if they're making too much noise. Gati. Gati means, here it means actually destination, ultimate destination. What's your ultimate destination? Then Gyan, knowledge. Then Tapa, austerity. Yoga, performance of linking. Then Makha, sacrifice. Then Loka, the different planetary systems. And Devata, the demigods. So the verses we can chant. These are 15 and 16. Narayana Paraveda. Narayana Paraveda. Deva Narayana Agnaja. Deva Narayana Gaja. Narayana Paraloka. Narayana Paraloka. Narayana Paramakha. Narayana Paramakha. Narayana Paro Yogo. Narayana Paro Yogo. Narayana Param Tapa. Narayana Param Tapa. Narayana Param Jnanam. Narayana Param Jnanam. Narayana Paragati. Narayana Paragati. Narayana Paraveda. Deva Narayana Gaja. Narayana Paraloka. Narayana Paramakha. Narayana Paro Yogo. Narayana Param Tapa. Narayana Param Jnanam. Narayana Paragati. He's saying Narayana Paraveda. All the Vedas are meant to glorify the shelter of the Vedas, the shelter of the scriptures is glorification of Supreme Lord. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Chapter 15. Vedeshta sarve ahameva vedya. Vedanta krit veda vedeva cha. Then Deva Narayana Gaja. All the devatas are meant to serve Lord Narayan. All the demigods are meant to serve Lord Narayan. Therefore, what are all of us meant to do? It's like, we compare the demigods are like compared to like our prime minister and defense ministers and things like that. So if the prime minister says my goal or my duty is to serve the nation, it implies that every citizen of the country's goal and duty should also be to serve the nation. So here he's saying the goal of the devatas is to serve Lord Narayan. Therefore, the goal of all of us is also to do the same. Then Narayana Para Loka. All the different planetary systems are created by the Lord and are actually meant for the Lord's pleasure. They are meant as places where the Lord is supposed to be served. Like we have our homes, people buy new homes or they renovate their homes or they have a home. The purpose of that piece of land ultimately is to serve the Lord, not just the temple, even our homes. Then Narayana Para Makha. All sacrifices are meant for the pleasure of Lord Narayana. Then Narayana Paro Yoga, the different yoga systems are ultimately meant to re-establish our link, our connection with Lord Narayana. Narayana Param Tapa. The end result of every austerity is to please the Lord. Whatever austerity we do, whatever vrat we do, whatever difficult things we take up in our life are ultimately meant to serve and satisfy the Lord. Narayanam Param Jnanam. The end result of all knowledge should be the Lord. So therefore, Prabhupada called material modern education as a slaughterhouse. Because when we graduated from 10th standard, did we ultimately come to the conclusion that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and the goal of my life is to serve Him? Far from it. Far, far from it. Like I was from a CBSE school, at least in 6th standard and 7th standard, we had a subject called Ramayana and Mahabharata. We actually had subjects. Apart from that, nothing. Our friend here, Krish, he's studying Shakespeare. He's in BSMS, Bhaktivedanta Swami Mission School. Anyway, of course, his case is different. He's a devotee. But actually, it should be IIT से जो निकले हैं, वो सबसे अच्छे devotees बने. क्योंकि IIT में इतना वो लोग को सिस्टमैटिकली सिखाया है कृष्णा को कैसे वर्शिप करने का. IIM में एकदम सिस्टमैटिकली सिखाया है कि भगवान की पूजा कैसे करने की या भगवान को कैसे वर्शिप करने का. That's the end result of education. Narayana Paragyana. The end result of knowledge is, oh, okay, I finally get it. That my life is meant in service of Krishna. That's what knowledge is meant for. And Narayana Paragati. Now, what does this mean? End destination is the lotus feet of the Lord. So, a logical question comes in Narad Muni's mind. He says, if Narayana is everything, then what do you do? Okay, I get it. Narayana Para Yoga, Narayana Para Gati, Narayana Para Veda, Narayana Para Jnanam, Narayana Para Tapa, Narayana Para Makha, Deva, Narayana Gaja. What do you do? Why am I talking to you then? What is your role? And Lord Brahma, that is why he is Brahma. Because he is a humble servant of the Lord. And he is not there to claim false ownership or false appreciation. And therefore, Brahma says in the 17th verse, inspired by him only, I discover what is already created by him under his vision as the all pervading super soul. And I also am created by him only. Brahma is accepting. He's saying that inspired by him. Because we know that the lotus comes out and there's Brahma and there's nothing. It's all black. You see here? It's all black. It's all dark. And Brahma hears two syllables. What are they? Tapa. And he performs austerity. And he meditates on the Lord. And then, like the first verse of the Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muyanti Yat Suraya. So it says, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. That you inspired Brahma from within the heart, who then became the first creator of after you. So he's saying, I got inspiration from the Lord. Not just that, he's saying, I am also created by the Lord. Not just that I got inspiration from the Lord, but I am also created by the Lord. Prabhupada writes a wonderful purport to this verse, which we will go through now. And I request all of you to please pay attention. Prabhupada writes, the Lord inspires the individual soul to create what is already created by the Lord. Please pay attention. Children are not making that much noise that you feel distracted. The Lord inspires the individual soul to create what is already created by the Lord. And by the goodwill of the Lord, a discoverer of something in the world is accredited as the discoverer. It is said that Columbus discovered the Western Hemisphere. But actually, the tract of land was not created by Columbus. The vast tract of land was already there by the omnipotency of the Supreme Lord, and Columbus, by dint of his past service unto the Lord, was blessed with the credit of discovering America. Similarly, no one can create anything without the sanction of the Lord, since everyone sees according to his ability. The ability is also awarded by the Lord according to one's willingness to render service unto the Lord. One must therefore be voluntarily willing to render service unto the Lord, and thus the Lord will empower the doer in proportion to his surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. I request all of you to read it again. Done? Yeah. So basically, Prabhupada is writing here, he's saying that whatever good or great thing we think we may have done in this life, or whatever anyone has done, anything substantial, it is basically by the inspiration of the Lord. It's basically inspired by Krishna. And Krishna is allowing that person to take the credit. Prabhupada here gives the example of Columbus, Christopher Columbus, who is credited with discovering America. But America was already there. This fellow just went there. He gets the credit. And then Prabhupada compares that to devotional service. Prabhupada says, if anyone is a nice devotee of the Lord and has this strong desire to do something for Krishna, then Krishna will empower him to the degree of his faith and surrender to Krishna. Krishna will use him or her as an instrument to do wonderful things for his service. And so Prabhupada says, one must therefore be voluntarily willing to render service unto the Lord. And the Lord will thus empower the doer in proportion of his surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Like Prabhupada said, that I think in regards to this temple only, he said that this temple is anyway going to be built. Now, if you want to help and then be recognized to get some credit, you can do it. If you don't, कोई और करेगा, मंदिर तो बनने वाला है, because the Lord wants the temple to come up. And therefore, then those devotees who work hard for it, those devotees who sacrifice for it, those devotees who do something consistently or something big or something small regularly for it, it's anyway going to happen. But if I say, Nahi, Krishna, I want to be an instrument in this, Krishna will use me as an instrument. Krishna will use me as an instrument, and then Krishna, I will be recognized. Oh, this fellow did something great. But that devotee, if he is humble, he will understand. मैंने क्या किया इसमें? It is the wonderful divine plan of the Lord. Can we think of some examples from the scripture to prove this point of how Krishna used some devotees to do some extraordinary activities, and those guys got the credit for it? Raise your hands. Think. Yes, Arpita. Okay, Krishna used Parikshit Maharaj because he knew that Parikshit Maharaj. Why was Parikshit Maharaj chosen? So he was qualified. Krishna knew that if given this chance, he's going to make the best use of it. And so he was chosen as an instrument. Yes, Prabhu. Yagyapati Prabhu. Okay, Krishna used Arjuna to get some wonderful thing done. You can even say in Arjuna's case, to win the war, when Krishna made Arjun get off the chariot, after Krishna got off the chariot broke into millions of pieces. And then Arjuna could realize that actually I didn't do anything. It was all Krishna doing it. Very good. Yes, Vikas Prabhu. In what case? Okay. That is an example of how the Lord protects his devotees or how the devotees can forgive. Here we are talking about some wonderful achievement happening, and then we realizing that actually Krishna was behind it. Like Arjuna's example fits into that. Yes, Sunil Prabhu. Hmm. Saving the first expansion of the Lord. Sanjeevani Bhuti. Great. Yeah, Hanuman is like the proper example. Every time Hanuman would do something, what would he say? Jai Shri Ram. So he's acknowledging that the Lord is using me as an instrument. On my own, what would I do? Like even Arjuna, if you remember, we read the, yeah, Haribol. Yeah, you can just take him outside. He can play outside. So Arjuna, if you remember, we read this also that afterwards, as soon as Krishna left the planet, Arjuna suddenly felt powerless. He was saying that my Gandhi is not working. People who would just fall just after my chariot would leave now are overpowering me. He couldn't protect Krishna's wives. Anyone remembers? I'm looking forward to next week. Don't worry, I'm sure some of you will be busy that day or will be sick that day. Other examples? Yes, Neha Mataji. Okay, very good. Very nice example. Vibhishan voluntarily decided that, hey, look, that's the Supreme Lord. And to hell with my brother and to hell with my family and let them call me whatever names they want to. पागल हो गया है, हरे कृष्णा के पीछे पागल हो गया है, ये क्या मंदिर जाता है, ये क्या वृंदावन मायापुर जाता है, whatever they want to call me. पागल है क्या, 3:30 बजे उठ के मंदिर कोई जाता है क्या, जरूर कहीं और जाते होंगे ये लोग, ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं and all. And he thought, I will tolerate all that, I don't care. I want to serve Lord Ramachandra. And then what happens? Vibhishan is credited as a very important aspect of winning the war. He's credited with as a very important aspect. Lord Ram could have finished Ravan off like that. Lord Ram could have ensured Sita never gets kidnapped. But wants to do all these things to show that anyway those things are going to happen. Like Krishna told Arjuna. Anyway, Bhishma, Drona, all these guys are going to be dead. वो मरने ही वाले हैं. Anyway, this kingdom is going to go to Yudhishthir. Now you decide. You want to be called as a coward? He calls him a eunuch. He calls him in the second chapter. It starts with that. You eunuch? What are you saying? You want to leave the battlefield and go away and take sannyas? You fight because anyway it's going to happen. I want you to take the credit. So same with your Vibhishan. And then Vibhishan is credited. And then he's made the king of Lanka. Yes, true. Shankaran Prabhu. Prahlad, how? He was protected by the Lord. How did he do something great? तो क्या क्या महान कार्य प्रहलाद ने किया जिसके पीछे भगवान थे? सोचो. नो, आंसर हिज क्वेश्चन. आप बताओ. या तो यू अदर्स कैन कंट्रीब्यूट टू हिज क्वेश्चन. यस. हाँ. हाँ. The question is someone doing something extraordinary, the Lord being behind it, and the person getting the credit. Okay? He made the Lord appear. Very good. He made the Lord appear. The Lord appeared because of, so called because of Pralad. So called because, very good. Very nice. Someone can say that, oh, look at this guy. He was trampled by elephants and he didn't die. He was poisoned, but he still didn't die. He was thrown off a cliff, but he still didn't die. Kitna powerful hai ye? Who's behind it? Krishna is behind it. So that's a reason. Yes, Mataji. प्रभुपाद तो आएंगे उस पर. अभी हम शास्त्र के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Yes, प्रांजल. Okay, very good. In what sense? Okay, so through Ramananda Rai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his form. Also, Ramananda Rai was credited with giving knowledge to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Ramanandan Mahaprabhu Samvad, where every time Mahaprabhu says, Eho Ar, Aage Kaho Bhai, and then he says, Eho Uttam, Aage Kaho Bhai, and then the topmost knowledge is revealed through Ramanand Rai. So, since Pranjal has taken us to CC, any examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes. What way, in what way? Very good. Roop and Sanatan revealed Vrindavan. Vrindavan was lost. Mahaprabhu went there, saw one, two places, left, told Roop and Sanatan, Dhundo Vrindavan. Now, when you go to Vrindavan, every kund and every temple and every Leela Stali that we know of, where Krishna performed his pastimes, were discovered by Roop and Sanatan. Everything. And so, they get the credit. Mahaprabhu could have come and done it. Krishna would have ensured wo jaye nahi, places lost anyway. But they use their devotees, people who have given up top government jobs, high paying jobs, and have become mendicants to serve Mahaprabhu. He uses them as instruments to reveal Vrindavan. Very good. Anything else from Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes, Nitai Jivan Prabhu. Very good. Very good. How old was Kaviraj Goswami? 90 plus. He was 90 plus years old, and uh, due to a unfortunate situation where Miniketan Ramdas was insulted. Nityanand, Kaviraj Goswami just left, and then Nityanand Prabhu came in his dream and said, "What? Are Are Krishna Das na karo, na karo bhai. Vrindavan yaha taha sarva siddhi hoy." That just don't lament. Just go to Vrindavan and everything will be revealed. And in Vrindavan, he was instructed that you write about all the pastimes of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, every now and then Kaviraj Goswami says, I am useless because of the mercy of Roop and Sanatan, because of the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu. I have been made as an instrument. Now, anyone who reads Chaitanya Charitamrita cannot but think of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami because he's the author. So, like that, so many examples. Any other examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes, Pranjal. So, Harida, the glories of the holy name, which is the external reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He anoints somebody else as the head of the holy name. Actually, Namacharya is him because he came to give the holy name. If you think about it, the holy name, the principal element by which we can get self realization in Kali Yuga. All of you chant? All of you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Every day? Multiple rounds? Just checking. बिकॉज आई ओनली चेक अबाउट पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा कि नहीं, क्या पता उसके नीचे एक और चीज नहीं कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए पढ़ भी नहीं रहे क्योंकि जपा ही नहीं हो रहा. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this holy name, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes the Acharya of the holy name as Haridas Thakur. So that is Mahaprabhu giving through Haridas Thakur, revealing the glory of the holy name. So these are all examples where a devotee who is fully in tune with whatever the Lord wants. However you want to use me, you use me. And that mood comes. Then Krishna uses, he takes these devotees and he makes them do seemingly wonderful things. And those devotees also offer all the credit back to the Lord. You want to add something to it? Yes, please. Raghunath Das Goswami. Yeah. He made him the instrument to serve all the Vaishnavas. The Lord himself, Mahaprabhu himself, visited there, and all the Vaishnavas. The credit went to Raghunath Das Goswami, whereas actually it was all done by. Is someone noting down? You are? Okay. Yes, Ashwini Prabhu. Hmm. 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 उनको मारते. Very nice. Bhishma Dev, Krishna, in fact, Yudhishthir went to Krishna, and Krishna told him also something, and he said, like, I'm not convinced. Krishna, I'm not convinced. Go to Bhishma. Bhishma convinces him. Krishna wanted to show that actually Bhishma is a very good devotee of mine. Because of his pratigya, he had to fight on the side of the Kauravas. Don't misunderstand that just because he fought with Duryodhan, that he is bad. Actually, he is a great devotee. And Krishna proved it by using Bhishma to satisfy Yudhishthir and ultimately being by the side of Bhishma at the last stages of Bhishma's life. Yes, Suma Mataji. Hey, बैठो. Good boy. Advaita, बोलिए बोलिए. Mother and daughter are fully into CC. Yes. Advaita Acharya के हुंकार. Say ना, the roar of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya के roar से भगवान खुद आए. So Lord Advaita Acharya read a verse in the Gautami Tantra, which says that Tulsi Jal, a Tulsi leaf, and Ganga Jal, say if you worship Shaligram, then Krishna is pleased. And they're doing that, and by doing that he's crying, Lord, just look at Kali Yuga, it is spreading so fast. This is 600 years back. Advaita Acharya is thinking, Kali Yuga is spreading so fast, do something, you have to do something. And he's crying out, and then the Lord says, actually I came, because of Advaita Acharya. I was not in the mood to come. This Advaita called me. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's very sweet. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu anyway wanted to come. He wanted to, whenever Krishna comes, Mahaprabhu comes. युग धर्म देना ही है, बट इज सेइंग वो अद्वैता के वजह से माया. एक्चुअली वो अद्वैता नहीं बुला था, मैं आने के मूड में नहीं था. इज गिविंग द क्रेडिट टू अद्वैता आचार्य. यस, जिगीशा माता जी. Okay, yes, very nice. Krishna instructed everything. वो WWF होता है ना, that bad referee who cheats, so like that Krishna became the bad referee who cheated, and so-called Bhim killed Jarasandh. Actually Krishna was behind it. Very good. Many examples like this. Examples from Srila Prabhupada's life of some extraordinary things that Srila Prabhupada did. Raise your hands. Yeah, Mataji, you wanted to say something? Prabhupada. Who said Prabhupada? You want to say some example? Materialistic है. तो अमेरिका में जाके प्रभुपाद could do something that is not ordinary, with how many 40 rupees in his pocket, didn't know whether to turn left or to turn right, did not know a soul except for the person who sponsored his visa. He did not know anybody there in America. And then when Prabhupada left, there were 108 temples, out of which only 4 were in India. 104 were in America and Europe in 12 years at the age of 70, without anything, alone, without modern communication systems, without even a fixed landline, letters. What else about some activity that Prabhupada did? Yes, Netaji want to. Some extraordinary activity. All of you can think. If it is so hot and we say book distribution at 2 p.m., most of you will be busy or will be sick. If you come and then you're standing there, and if you get a heat stroke and you faint and we revive you, we put water on you, we revive you, and you get up, what will you do? I will also probably do the same thing. नेक्स्ट टाइम चेंज करो ना टाइम क्या है भक्तों को ऐसे सताना नहीं चाहिए 2 बजे कोई टाइम है क्या बुक बांटने का वो भी ये समर में एंड ही गॉट अप किधर है मेरा बुक एंड ही स्टार्टेड अगेन yes vandana mataji seeing all old faces back today many of you yes I was in mulund today afternoon coincidentally and now you all have come today yes yeah there was actually it's a miracle that the first canto of Srimad Bhagvatham was printed. When Prabhupada was writing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he had 2 pairs of dhotis and they also had multiple holes in them. He was eating once a day sometimes. He was traveling in third class coach and he was walking most of the time. All this because he didn't have any money. And whatever money he had, he wanted to save for printing. Now you imagine when someone has no money to even eat and they get this whole big first canto of Bhagavatam printed, not 1 or 2 copies, thousands of copies. Great. Anything else out from Prabhupada's life? Yes, Neha Mataji. Yeah. If those of you who have been to America, typical American family, they eat very little vegetables. Their morning, afternoon, evening meals are meat, and then they top it down with alcohol and things like that. And to make those guys, youngsters are especially more into all these things. To make them leave onion garlic also. Forget about just the meat. यहाँ पे तो लोग बोलेंगे ठीक है अंडा खाऊंगा चलेगा भाई चलो ठीक है मैं गाय नहीं खाऊंगा मैं फिश खा सकता हूँ ना हाँ ठीक है मंडे को नहीं खाऊंगा रोज थोड़ी हो सकता है एंड टू गेट दोज गाइज टू लीव इवन अनियन एंड गार्लिक and to stop illicit sex and to stop all these nonsensical things and not just that those guys are now initiating Indians. Those guys are the gurus. They are initiating Indians and they are like exalted Vaishnavas. Their photographs are on altars and being worshipped by their disciples. Imagine that. We take it for granted. It is, you know, if you ever need any inspiration for your spiritual life, just think about Srila Prabhupada and what he did. If you ever feel low in your spiritual life, if you ever feel uninspired, if you ever feel that you're not having a push, that you're spacing out, just think of what Srila Prabhupada did and the amazing sacrifices that he did. And then we will understand what the hell am I crying about? my leg pain, my head pain, my stomach pain, my stupid argument with somebody, or my stupid misunderstanding with a devotee, or the fact that I was not praised or recognized for something, or that that person didn't smile at me, and because of that I am feeling uninspired to serve today. What is wrong with me? When devotees make sacrifices, Krishna becomes pleased. The moral of this discussion is, when devotees make sacrifices, Krishna becomes pleased. When devotees recognize that actually I am not doing anything, Krishna is actually the one who did this, and he's just allowing me to take the credit. Krishna recognizes, oh, this fellow is being honest. He's recognizing me, he's recognizing my existence. This devotee is stating that I exist, and therefore he loves me. Therefore, she loves me. If I think that I was behind this, I did it, Krishna is saying, अरे सब कुछ मैंने दिया, बुद्धि भी मैंने दिया, और तू बोल रहा है कि तूने किया, and you claim to be a devotee of mine. So when the devotees first is recognize that Krishna is the source, that whatever, if anything good I have done in my life, even materially, especially materially, it was because of Krishna. And second, then a devotee performs sacrifices, takes on difficult tasks to serve Krishna. Now, His Holiness Kadam Kanan Maharaj, he liked one story very much, which he used to repeat again and again. Many times he used to repeat the story. And he especially liked uh, the essence of the story which the acharyas give as the prime teaching. He says once the gopis were in Kusum Sarovar, and they were making garlands out of pearls. Sorry? They were making garlands out of pearls, and Krishna came there, and Krishna asked that I also need pearls. These pearl garlands are looking so nice. Can I also get some? I also want to give someone pearls. The gopis are thinking, apart from us, who do you want to give pearls? They ask him, who do you want to give pearls to? Someone very close to my heart. Very important people, very close to my heart. Every gopi is expecting, whose name is Krishna going to take. All of us are here. Maybe one of our names he'll take, and then definitely we'll give the pearls. And he says, who Krishna? He says, all of my cows and all the calves. I want to make pearl garlands for them. And the gopis look at Krishna and say, go get lost from here. You're making fun of us. Who gives pearl garlands to cows? Go from here. And then Krishna says, no, but at least give me some pearls. I'll make some garlands. And then Lalita Sakhi, she takes one broken pearl and she tosses it to Krishna. And she says, take this. Now go. Krishna gets very insulted. He gets very upset and he goes. And then he goes to Nand Baba and Yashoda Maiya. And he asks them, can you give me some pearls? Krishna, what do you want to do with the pearls? I want to plant. These gopis are thinking themselves as very, very intelligent. I want to plant some pearl trees. Yashoda Maiya said, Krishna, pearls don't grow on trees. Where do pearls come from? So pearls don't grow on trees. Krishna said, no. You please just give me some pearls. Now Yashoda Maiya and Nand Baba have a different mood. What is their rasa? Vatsalya ras. Parents, they are having so much love for Krishna. Okay, no problem. 8-10 pearls चले जाएंगे? No, दे दो. Mood of parents. So they give. Krishna takes those pearls, gets his coward boys, come. We're going to plant some pearls. Plant pearls. Now we have to water the pearls. How do you water pearls? Krishna says, get the best milk from the best cows. The way to grow a pearl tree is by watering it with milk. A2 Gir cow milk, very expensive. People would be drinking A2 Gir cow milk, but when they go to a temple where they have to chadao milk, they'll buy that 35 rupee wala packet. थोड़ी 100 रुपए का दूध चढ़ाएंगे भगवान को, पता नहीं उनको मिल रहा है नहीं मिल रहा है, चढ़ा दो ये जो भी है. अपने पीने के लिए नहीं, वो 100 रुपए का पैकेट. So now all these gopis also get the news that in a pearl tree, and they went there and they're laughing at Krishna. Krishna, what are you doing? This is a waste. All these pearls are going to be a waste. ऊपर से तुम दूध डाल रहे हो, इतना महंगा दूध डाल रहे हो उसमें. Everyone laughs. They go away. Krishna is very diligently doing it. And next day when they come back, they see big trees are there. And not just big trees, there are pearls. There are lots of pearls hanging on every branch. Not just any pearls. These are colorful pearls. These are not just those white pearls. They are colorful. Not just that, they are fragrant. There's a wonderful fragrance in them, in these pearls. And then Krishna removes all the pearls. They make wonderful garlands, and all the cows are wearing these garlands and they are going. And all the gopis are looking like that. How did this happen? Now, it is seemingly not supposed to happen. But Krishna is, no, I will do it. I will do it. And what needs to be done for this? This needs to be done. So I'm going to do it diligently. You laugh, you do anything, no problem, I'll do it. The acharyas, they give the explanation that these pearls represent the sacrifice of the devotees. And when the devotees are willing to sacrifice something for Krishna, that sacrifice is like a pearl for Krishna. And then as long as, you suppose you take a vow, I take a vow that at least once a week I will chant 16 rounds before 7 a.m., for example. Some vow like that. On a Sunday, I will chant 16 rounds before 7 a.m. Yeah, on a Sunday, I will come for Mangalarti. Every Sunday, I will come for Mangalarti. I have taken a promise, spiritual promise. And then now you sacrifice to achieve it. Even if on a Saturday you sleep at midnight, you will get up at 3:30 and you will go for Mangalarti. Or you will ensure, no matter how sleepy you are, that one day when you have taken that vow, you achieve it. If you regularly do that, the acharyas say those are like pearls for Krishna. Because Krishna is seeing this person has taken a difficult vow for me, difficult for them. And not just that, they have actually worked hard to try and achieve it. And then the acharyas say, then magic happens. Because then Krishna empowers them to achieve it. They just have to struggle towards doing it. And if they are consistent, Krishna waits for some time. And if after a few attempts they don't give up and they are still doing it, then Krishna empowers them to achieve these wonderful things. So, doing something for the Lord, or having the mood that I want to do something for the Lord, and also taking some vows for my spiritual life. When we do these things and then we take difficulties for them, then Krishna gets very pleased. And then empowerment comes. So then empowerment comes. And then in that empowerment, then a person is used as an instrument to do wonderful things. So in our spiritual life, we should always think big. We should not just be bogged down कि मेरा 16 माला हो रहा है या मेरा 16 माला नहीं हो रहा है या मुझे क्या करना चाहिए मेरे लिए. We should think big. Yeah, yes, I will read Srimad Bhagvatam by the end of next year. Or that I will, 16 rounds before 7 a.m. Yes, I'll do it. Or I'm going to remove a couple of hours every week to perform some devotional service. You give me. Yeah, once a month I will go out on book distribution. You will see things start to happen. But it's not as if Josh mein aake wow le liya and then we become thanda. We have to be consistent at it. And when Krishna sees someone is consistent at it, Krishna empowers. Best example of that is the entire life of Srila Prabhupada. If you read Leelamrit, the first volume, it is just a story of rejection after rejection, disappointment after disappointment, failure after failure. But it is also a story of not giving up, not giving up, not giving up. It just goes on and on and on. I can list 50 examples from the Leelamrit from 1896 to 1965 in Srila Prabhupada's life of he wanting to do something for his spiritual master, he failing but not giving up, continuing. And then you see the next 12 years, all those things fructified beyond imagination. And it doesn't just end with Prabhupada. There are so many devotees, disciples of Prabhupada, grand disciples of Prabhupada, great grand disciples of Prabhupada, who are also doing amazing things. They are having that mood that I will perform some sacrifices for Krishna and I will not give up. I will continue my vow. And then empowerment happens. That's when empowerment happens. From whom? From Krishna. And the devotee on his part will never take credit for all those things. Like Srila Prabhupada. Whenever something good happened and Prabhupada was giving credit, what would he say? It's all because of my spiritual master. It's all because of Bhakti Siddhanta. It's all because of my Guru Maharaj. So this is the mood of Brahma here. He's saying, Krishna gave me the intelligence, Krishna revealed, and Krishna created me also. And now he's giving me the credit for it. And Srila Prabhupada here is stating that the ability is also awarded by the Lord. Nothing happens without the sanction of the Lord. And therefore, if nothing happens without Krishna and the ability to do something is offered by Krishna, what should we do? What should we be having? If the ability to do the activity is also given by Krishna, if the sanction whether that will be successful or not is also going to be done by Krishna, what is my role in it? What's my role? What is Prabhupada writing here? In the red line, what is written? We should voluntarily be willing that use me, Krishna. You use me as an instrument. Something great has to be done now. I'm ready. उसके लिए धक्के खाऊंगा. उसके लिए I will make day night one, but I will do it. You use me. When Krishna sees, oh yeah, okay, someone like this is there. Like someone who works very hard, and when they put in their papers, the company will try their best to ensure ये नहीं जाए. They're working hard. So Krishna will do. ये भी credit इसको use करो. हाँ इसमें भी इसको use करो. Distribute one whole carton. We are struggling in एक गीता में. हाँ पूरा एक carton इसके हाथ से बांट दो. खत्म करो. मंदिर बनाया इसने. 10 मंदिर इसने बनाया. He made so many devotees. He did this. She did that. Great things. Why? Because they are voluntarily willing to render service unto the Lord with the mood that you use me as an instrument, and if something good happens, they think it was Krishna's mercy. That was my Guru's mercy. That was the devotee's mercy. What did I do in that? I was just there at the right place at the right time. This is the mood that will ensure that Krishna will empower us. Any questions? Any questions on Zoom? There are many examples on Zoom. If anyone has any question on Zoom, you can type. So then, yes, Arpita. How to have the mood to serve willingly. We should understand this, that any devotional service giving to me is the ability to do it is also going to be given by Krishna, or the education to do it is going to be given by the devotees. If it has to happen anyway, Krishna is going to make it happen, and I am just an instrument. If this service is coming to me, it's Krishna's desire that I do it. Willingly working hard towards it. Prabhupada said sometimes, Krishna consciousness is very simple and we expect a very complicated answer. It's actually not very difficult. If I have been giving a service, I should understand that the ability to do the service is also given by Krishna. Whether that service is going to happen or not is also in Krishna's hands. अभी मेरे पास आया मतलब I have to work hard towards it. Sometimes some services don't even materialize. We endeavor so much and things don't happen. Okay, Krishna's sanction was not there. But what does Krishna worry about? Endeavor or result? endeavored. So the service has come. I have to endeavor to do it nicely. Result is in Krishna's hand anyway. मैं सोचूं पर ये तो माता जी एकदम अनप्रैक्टिकल लग रहा है मेरे से थोड़ी होगा ये I am this I am shy I am not qualified yeah this that but if that service is coming to me I have to try my best to do it whether it will happen or not that is anyway in Krishna's hands of course I will take guidance from the devotees and I will do my best to ensure that I am doing it in a nice way but to willingly do it is not that difficult. Okay, so we discussed today how the elements of creation they all come from Lord Vasudev. The purpose of all aspects of creation is to serve Lord Narayan. And then Narad asked Brahma, "What did you do?" And Brahma said, "All I did was get the pieces together because Krishna gave me the intelligence to do it. He is, in fact, the source of me. And along with that, he gives me the credit also for it." And then in this purport, Prabhupada writes that this is true with every devotee. Every devotee will feel that they will see their life and they'll see how did that happen? Krishna was behind it. Krishna made it happen. And therefore, anything good in our material life or in our spiritual life that happens to us, we should give the credit to Krishna because he is the source behind it. He is the one who gave me the ability, he is the one who gave me the facility, he is the one who gave me the ingredients, and he just used me and now he's giving me the credit. And therefore, if I have a devotee, I need to pass the credit on. And Prabhupada says, if someone has this kind of a mood, then they should be voluntarily willing to render service to the Lord, and then Krishna will use them as instruments based on their proportion of surrender. To that degree, the Lord will empower. To the degree where we feel that, yes, I want to serve Srila Prabhupada, whatever it be, I am willing to do sacrifice for that. To that extent, the Lord will empower. We discussed the story of planting pearls, of how when we take some vows, when we take on voluntarily some sacrifices, that pleases Krishna. And then Krishna makes impossible things happen. Just like a pearl tree. He makes an impossible thing happen. When we are willing, that yeah, I'll take it up, Krishna. Okay, I will improve my sadhana and I will stick to it. Not like those New Year resolutions. I will be determined to stick to it. Krishna sees, wow, इतना obstacles आ रहे हैं, some so-called obstacles, some actual obstacles, but this person is going on. And then what happens? Empowerment happens at that time. Okay? End with a quote from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, in the Vedic writings, such as the Katha Upanishad, the Lord is described as Sarva Bhuta Antaratma, or the personality of God who resides in everyone's body and who directs everything for one who is a soul surrendered unto him. Even Brahma, the creator of the universe, admits that he is not the actual creator but is simply inspired by Lord Narayan and therefore creates under his superintendence those things already created by him, the super soul of all living entities. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, as I already mentioned, next week we have Ram Katha. When does it start? Anyone knows? 13th. 13th. 13th to 17th. 17th is Ram Navami. So 13 to 17, there is Ram Katha by Devkinandan Prabhu. It is in Mandapam Hall. So every evening, it will also be live on Zoom. So you can participate. And at least on the Saturday evening, next Saturday evening, please come to Mandapam Hall to hear